All right, so in this next video, I'm going to take you along on my coastal walk and then the night activity. What I was able to find that night as a part of the Vivid Light Show. But I want to say this was probably one of my favorite days because of just how beautiful the views were. I'm not a huge fan of being on the beach, like going swimming, but I do like to, my favorite is to be in a hotel room, on a balcony, on a high floor, just look out, be able to hear it, be able to see it. But I also don't mind like just walking. But what this day allowed me to do was just walk the coast. And it took, I think, maybe about maybe even a little over 2 hours to walk. And I know it was over 20,000 steps that I clocked that day. But it was about 2 hours or more just walking and just such a beautiful scenery walking the coast of Sydney. And so there are a lot of videos in this one, so I probably won't do as much talking, but we'll see as I go through editing it. Let's go. So here I am getting started with the day back on public transportation. And some people always ask when I travel, how do I get around? And the answer is Google. I put it in Google and follow the GPS. And if it doesn't seem right, then I just get off. This was a video of me falling and busting my face because I didn't realize that the step was as low as it was. But anyway, after some riding, I made it to Bondi Beach. So let's enjoy the coastal walk. Goes to the beach during the winter time with a sweater cap, a jacket all the way buttoned up, and tights. This girl on vacation because when's the next time I'm going to be in Australia to get in the beach, to go to the beach? And I know the water cold because the sand is freezing. But who's about to step in anyway? Look at these big old waves. Just stay on the edge. I didn't come prepared to swim. Not today anyway. Let's see how cold. Whew. Not terrible. Beautiful out here though. I'm about to do the coastal walk. It should take, it said, about 2 or 3 hours. And I was gonna do it both ways, but we'll see how I feel in the end. But anyway, here's Bondi Beach in New South Wales. This was me at Coogee Beach. I decided not to walk back, got on the bus, went back to the hotel, laid down, got up, had McDonald's, and then ran into this street performance. So one of my regrets with this trip is not doing more research about how I could have supported the Aboriginal culture. I learned about the Aboriginal culture from a movie called Rabbit Proof Fence years ago, and basically they have a story like the Native Americans here where they were pushed out of their lands. Here's a quick interview. So, for anyone who's visiting Australia, what would you like them to know about the Aboriginal culture, or what should we know?
The first thing about it, we only have a very small population now. Probably 1, maybe 3%. 1% still have their culture full on. The other 2%, because of the assimilation policies that are taking people away from country, this connection with the land, but the land is very important for our people because we belong to the land. Each country really caretakes the land. Each land has responsibility to look after it. Because if you don't look after it, it affects the other lands besides other countries. It's important that we have that sort of things in place.
Absolutely. So I was happy to run into him, but again, one of my regrets is that I didn't spend more time just really learning how I could support the Aboriginals. After hanging out for a little bit, I think I found something to eat. I went back to the hotel and decided to check out the exercise room. Not that I wanted to exercise at all, but just wanted to see it, but then I went swimming. All right, so I'm about to go swimming. And this will be my first time swimming, I feel like in a year or two, which I love swimming, but as you can see, all of this, when it's wet, is heavy. And so I haven't been swimming in a while, but I found this big old swim cap, and I'll be using it for the first time, but I wanted y'all to see how much of a struggle it is to get on. Whew. I don't know if it's supposed to go over my ear or not. I don't really like it over my ear. Oh, goodness. I want to be able to hear everything that's going on. And I wanted to wait until I got to the pool to put this on so I'm not walking around looking a little crazy. But yeah, I saw the work it took, so I didn't want to do that at the pool. So anyway, let's go swimming. All right, so we went for a quick swim. And I had on my, whatever you call it, the head covering so my hair wouldn't get wet. But as you can see, I have on a towel, so it did get some wet, but it's certainly not as wet as it would have been if I didn't have that on. So goodbye, a goodbye, because it does help. Like I said, it's wet, but it's not soaking wet. I'm putting it to the camera like you can feel it. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be good. That's really going to come in handy in the next few days. So after I finished swimming, it was still pretty early, and I wanted to see more of the Vivid Light Show. So I got dressed and headed out to, I think this area was called Darling Harbor. I think. I'm not exactly sure. But again, following the GPS to get around, I did get somewhat lost, but I made it there, and the food was delicious. Here's one stand. You could smell it as soon as you got in the area. They had a variety of chicken, pork, lamb, the vegetables there. That's me in a very clean porta potty. This is the area with the lights here. Vivid. I did end up getting in line, which was a very long line, but it was worth the wait. They had a little fire show still going on, but I waited, got my food, and then I went to the fire kitchen and just sat along the side, which they were actually filming like a kitchen show, so that was pretty cool. Here's a clip.
Just place it in a beautiful way, and it's so all that smoke, all that flavour, as the fat drops down, you're getting that beautiful, really flavoursome. It's just cooking for yourself. You know, you're not going to spend too much money, spend too much time, but
because of where I was sitting, I got to try the prawns, and they were pretty good. They were decent. I realized I don't know how to eat them, but I did the best I could.